Good morning. We are on deck roofing. Before we dive into our presentation, I want to give you guys a little brief overview of what we'll be covering. We're first going to go over introduction, each introduce ourselves, introduce our company, and then we're going to talk about our safety and quality and how we plan on giving you the highest quality product we can possibly give you while keeping our job site as safe as we can. Then we're going to dive into our estimate and talk about our phasing and logistics plan, which ultimately leads to our schedule, and then we'll open up the floor to questions. My name is Josh Hauser. I'll be your senior PM on this job site. I like to emphasize that I'll be your main point of contact on this job site. Any information that you guys have will first be given to me, and then I'll distribute it out throughout my team. A little bit about myself. I've been in this industry now for 25 years. Something I usually like to talk about is I worked on a Legion Stadium for you guys in the past, so I feel like I'm very well equipped to be in front of you here today presenting for this Raiders training facility.
Hello everybody, my name is Mackenzie Bosich. I'll be the superintendent on your job. As for previous experience, I've had 17 years in the industry and worked on the Win Las Vegas project. I'm also 100-hour OSHA certified, and I'm a proud member and mentor of the National Association of Women in Construction.
Hello, my name is Jacob Schneider. I'll be your safety and quality manager on this job site. I have about 18 years of industry experience. I'm 100-hour OSHA certified as well as EN 385 1-1 fall protection certified. I'm an active member of the OSHA Alliance program, and I love to be adaptable and practical on each job site. Hey guys, my name is Kendall Carter. I'm going to be the pre-construction manager on this project. I have 13 years of industry experience. The first 5 of those years working on the field as a roof mechanic. Being a field worker to the office has gained me the respect from my fellow co-workers and tradesmen on the field. It has also given me the chance to see the execution process of a complex roof. This experience has given me the knowledge and confidence to provide you guys with a high-quality, low-budget roof.
Before we dive into our presentation, I'd like to just give you guys a little visual of how our job site will be structured on this job site specifically. I'd like to reiterate, I'll be your main point of contact. Any information that you guys have, I'll be given to me, and then I'll distribute it out throughout my team. Something I like to usually just talk about is we all work together and emphasize teamwork in our company here at On Deck Roofing. We all see each other as equals, and no one's really above each other, and we all just kind of overall work together greatly. A little bit about our company. We pride ourselves in providing the highest quality product we can possibly give you, while at the same time staying actively involved in our community here in Las Vegas, which I'll touch on the next slide. We are a licensed roofing contractor with a certified roofing application and unlimited bid limit. This unlimited bid limit basically means we're able to bid on any project, hence why we were able to bid on Legion Stadium. Here in Las Vegas and Nevada, a lot of subcontractors and contractors are actually categorized by their bid limits, which ultimately just basically means if you're financially capable of bidding on a certain amount of projects. Our company values our leadership, safety, integrity, and teamwork, which ultimately kind of dives into our community involvement here and how we take pride in this. We have a 75% quarterly company attendance rate here. It's called Clean the World Nonprofit Organization. This is a local nonprofit here in Las Vegas. Basically what they do is they take either used or non-used soaps and shampoos from local hospitals here in Las Vegas, which you can imagine there's an abundant amount. And basically we take these and redistribute it out to either locally, nationally, or worldwide. Our company process, I usually like to just give you guys how here we On Deck Roofing operate internally. We get in our pre-construction phase, and that's when Kendall down here takes on the bid documents and begin working on the estimate. That's when Mackenzie here, she steps in for logistics and how she plans on laying out this job site for you guys. And then here, Jacob, he steps in, looks at the safety and quality of this project, and again, how we plan on giving you the highest quality project we can possibly give you while keeping the job site as safe as we can. And then we dive into our post-construction. Ultimately, this includes our warranties and our PMA, which is your performance maintenance analysis. Some relevant projects I would just like to talk about with you guys. Like I said before, we worked on the Legion Stadium in the past, and we took a lot away from this overall. This was a translucent roofing system which allowed natural light to go through. As you can imagine, this was a very complex project. Also, I'd like to just touch on the T-Mobile Arena. This was a LEED Gold certified project. As you can imagine, there's a lot of nitty-gritty details that went into this project, which ultimately, all together, just kind of we took away our teamwork and collaborating all together as one unit. Some other projects I'd like to just talk about is the Thomas and Mack Center, which we worked on, and EL Weekend Fitness Center.
Here's a little safety video that'll show our technology and procedures we like to use on site.
this oceanside Verbo.
Howdy, I'm Jacob Schneider, Safety Manager here at On Deck Roofing, where safety is our #1 priority, no exceptions. Come along with me and I'll show you how we keep our employees and the job site safe. First things first here at On Deck Roofing, we all gotta grab our PPE, which includes our boots, our safety goggles, of course our hard hat, our NC level cut 5 gloves, and lastly our safety vest. Here we got our controlled access zone, other known as our CAS, as well as our stair tower. On Deck Roofing, we like to use a mobile tile system like this one right here. This is the Raptor, but we got 2 employees out here working on a leading edge, so they're tied off to this mobile tile point. Before starting or resuming work here on Deck Roofing, we all like to do a stretch and flex, as well as a THA and JHA for that job site. This is our On Deck Roofing material hoist procedure, how we use a crane to lift stuff off the truck and up to the roof. Here at On Deck Roofing, we like to provide a job site specific safety plan as well as a rescue plan to our employees. We usually have our superintendent or safety manager present this to our employees. From On Deck Roofing to you, safety is our #1 priority.
No exceptions.
All right, as we stated in the video, at On Deck Roofing, safety is our #1 priority. There are no exceptions to that. As you can see here, our safety records have been trending greatly in the past 5 years. Part of the reason is that we have our safety managers on site at all times, a near resource, but not a roadblock. Diving into our site-specific safety plan, we like to create one of these for each job site. As you saw in the video, for this job site, we'll also have a controlled access zone or a CAS, and then also our rigging and hoisting procedures. For us, falls are the #1 hazard on the job site, so we like to set up a 10-foot minimum perimeter flagging. Outside of that flagging, we have a 100% tie-off policy for all of our employees. And we like to use the mobile tie-off system, or the Raptor, which was shown in the video, which we'll be using on this job site specifically. And then lastly, all harnesses and rigging must be inspected by me or my superintendent, Mackenzie, here before use. At On Deck Roofing, we like to create a routine for our employees before work. Nowadays, that first includes our COVID-19 form, which is just a simple QR code that we fill out. Then we hop into our JHA and THA as well as our stretch and flex. After work, we have to make sure all of our area is cleaned up, and then all materials secured down, and of course, everything is watertight before we leave the job site. Jumping into quality here, we do some activity pre-planning. First off, we like to have that pre-roof coordination meeting with the GC and any subcontractors that will have penetrations coming up through the roof. And then during roofing operations, I will be taking daily photo documentation, which will be submitted to the GC per the specs weekly. And then also I'll be doing inspections on the fasteners and the induction method, which we'll touch on a little bit later. Post-construction, we provide a 2-year standard roof warranty provided by On Deck Roofing. That's for all materials and labor. For this specific start and fill system, I've never had to come back to a job site related to a quality issue. And then we'll also, of course, provide that 20-year standard Fill warranty. And we are more than willing to be the main point of contact for that warranty. And then also, we also have a PMA, which Kendall will kind of explain here on the estimate.
Through the collaboration of the On Deck Roofing team, we got a bid estimate of around $1.3 million. Jacob, our safety manager, clearly communicated the safety procedures that will be used on site. This helped us determine the costs associated with safety setup. Jacob, Mackenzie, our superintendent, and I came together and we broke down the project into 4 phases. These 4 phases were broken up down by complexity, which helped us determine the manpower needed for each phase. To determine an appropriate PMA for this project size, I sat down with our project manager, Josh. This will include a semi-annual site visit, which will occur in the fall and the spring. And during each site visit, we will complete a roof inspection. During that roof inspection, if any damage is found, we will repair it immediately. Before leaving the project, we will make sure to keep the roof clean, which will include cleaning the gutters and removing any excess debris. The number we came up with for the PMA was $4,000 a year over the span of 5 years.
I usually like to just talk about the roof assembly that we'll be working here at the Raiders training facility. It is a Sonicville S327 80 mil run-on system. First, you have your 2 layers of R15 insulation, which get a total value of R30. Then you have your membrane fasteners, and then your styrofoam, which is your crickets, which is only in the sloping areas towards the drains. Then you have your rhino plates, and then you have your Sonicville 80 mil membrane, which is a heat conductive welded membrane. Usually we have worked with this system in the past here in Las Vegas. We know with this climate, this is a very good system to use here.
And just to kind of retouch on the quality here, I'll be ensuring that the membrane fastener pattern is correct and also that the induction method is good.
Here I want to walk you through our site logistics plan as well as our phasing plan. Through my experience in looking through these blueprints, this is the optimum logistics plan. However, it is adaptable to the GC's plan. So what we want is the trucks to come all the way around the building, and we're going to have 3 crane mobilization areas, where we're going to have the trucks right there, and we're going to use our just-in-time delivery method. So like you saw in the video, we're going to take the material straight from the truck onto the roof to maximize efficiency and minimize laydown areas. So our first phase that we're going to begin with is the office building. The office building is going to take the most amount of time because it's the most complex because of all the penetrations in this area. The next phase we're going to start in is the performance center, and this is going to take our team 34 days to complete. It is more square footage though. So on phase 3, it's 192 squares, taking our team 24 days to complete. And our phase 4 is going to take 7 days, and this includes the porte-cochere and the second level canopies, in which we'll be using the forklift to get our material onto the roof. So here you'll see all 4 phases of our project, taking us 103 days to complete 1,101 squares. So next I want to just walk you through how long each phase is and how we got to that number. So I sat down with my team and we decided that we needed to take into account the site logistics, safety setup, material delivery, roofing assembly, as well as the final cleanup. So we'll be on your job site for 103 days.
After awarded, I like to usually talk about our first couple steps we'll be taking here on deck roofing. I personally, as your project manager, will be in direct contact with the architect/GC. And then we usually, after we get a letter of intent, I like to tell you guys that we'll have your submittals and shop drawings within 4 weeks of that letter of intent. And then next, we look at our long lead item. As of right now, our longest lead item is looking about 5 weeks out, just to give you guys a little heads up. And lastly, we look at forecast our manpower according to our schedule. Just to give you guys a little brief presentation overview of what we covered here today, we go over our introduction. We each introduce ourselves, our company, how we take pride here at On Deck Roofing and being involved in our local community here at Las Vegas. Then we will talk a little about our safety and quality and how we plan on giving you the highest quality product that we can possibly give you while keeping it the safest we can possibly do. And we also cover our 2-year warranty and our 20-year Sickness Sonicville warranty as well. And then we dove into our estimate of $1.3 million. And then lastly, we kind of cover our phasing logistics plan, which also led over to our schedule. On behalf of everyone on Deck Roofing, we'd like you for your time and consideration. We'd like to open up the floor to questions.
Well, it's a very good presentation on Deck Roofing. You obviously spent a lot of time and a lot of innovation into your presentation, and it showed very well. So what I want to do now is I want to introduce to you the judges. And after I do the introductions, we will have a round of questions which you can answer. So the first judge to bring up is Mr. John Gary. He's the Chief Marketing Officer for Nations Roof. John has a wide range of experience, having worked for roofing contractors, distributors, and manufacturers during his roofing career. He's been active in multiple roofing organizations to include NRCA and the Roofing Alliance. John is an enthusiastic advocate for continuous improvement in the roofing industry and shows this by his participation as a speaker and a contributor to many roofing industry events and publications. Thank you, John, for being a part of our panel of judges. Our next judge is Ms. Helaine Hardy-Pierce, who's Vice President of Technical Services and Codes and Industries Relations for GAF. Helaine is a recipient of 2 of the roofing industry's most prestigious awards. That is the NRCA J.A. Piper Award and ASTM's William C. Cullen Award. This comes from her long-term commitment and dedication to the roofing industry over her entire career. Helaine continues to be active in roofing organizations, working on committees, speaking at events, publishing information, all of which provide knowledgeable insight into the technical aspects of roofing. Thank you, Helaine, for being a part of this panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. Scott Kowalik. He's Vice President of B&M Roofing, located in Frederick, Colorado. Scott is a third-generation roofing contractor who grew up in and around the roofing business. His father and grandfather both were active in the industry as business owners and also as industry leaders. Simply put, Scott knows and understands all aspects of the roofing industry. He served on the Roofing Alliance Board of Trustees, NRCA's Executive Committee, and served as president of the National Roofing Legal Resource Center. Scott continues to be involved in state, regional, and national roofing organizations, putting forth his vast knowledge of roofing and his experience. So thank you, Scott, also for being on our panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. John Mcgarry. So we have a John Gary and a John Mcgarry in the judging here. John is Chief Operating Officer for Commercial Roofers, Inc. They're located in Las Vegas, Nevada. John holds both an MBA and a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and a minor in mathematics. John also is very much involved in many industry organizations, too many to mention. The other interesting thing about John and his company, Commercial Roofers, is they're the roofing company that actually installed the PVC single-ply roof on the Raiders practice facility. And his company was the one that helped get permission for us to use this project for this competition. So thank you, John, for helping us obtain the project for use and also for being a member of this panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. Dudley Miles. He currently serves as chairman of the board of J.D. Miles and Sons and also Miles Roofing. Dudley grew up in the roofing business, but followed his first passion of teaching and coaching before coming back into the roofing industry full-time. Dudley is a past president of the National Roofing Contractors Association, and he also is a recipient of the roofing industry prestigious J.A. Piper Award. The list of accomplishments and achievements that have been bestowed on Dudley are more in number than we have time to list. So needless to say, Dudley is and has been a dedicated servant to the roofing industry. So thank you, Dudley, also for being a part of this panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. Chris Ogg. He's the West North Regional Sales Manager for Sika Sarnafil Roofing. Chris has been employed by Sika for the last 25 years, where he's been involved in technical aspects of their roofing systems to becoming district and then regional manager for Sika Sarnafil. Chris' territory includes Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, and Alaska, all the places I want to go visit. As you may have figured out by now, Chris is familiar with the Raiders practice facility by his involvement with the roofing system that was installed. So thank you, Chris, also for being a part of this panel of judges. Our next judge is Mr. Bob Pringle. He's Vice President of Evans Roofing Company in Elmira, New York. Bob is an industrial engineer graduate working in the roofing industry to bring quality and safety to his company and our industry. Bob has proudly served on many roofing industry boards that include the National Roofing Contractors Association. Bob's daily responsibilities in his home location include oversight of sales and marketing, along with oversight of environmental health and safety issues. Issues that involve protecting our roofing workers as well as our clients and the environment. So also thank you, Bob, for being a part of this panel of judges. And our final judge to be brought to your attention is Mr. John Yoko, Senior Vice President of Operations of GSM Roofing. John has a unique advantage of working in the manufacturing industry at the beginning of his career. John has a BS in mechanical engineering and also holds a master's degree in organizational management. When John started his career at GSM, he put forward the goal to continue their tradition of quality, safety, and service, and has succeeded in that goal. John also is involved in many roofing organizations, given of his time and help to our industry as a whole. John, Thank you also for being a part of our panel of judges. So that's the panel of judges. There are 8 judges. We will have 6 of them that will be asking you questions. And with that, I'm going to turn the program over to John Gary, who will start the questions, and I'm going to mute out.
Thank you, Alan, and congratulations to you On Deck Roofing. Really a fantastic job of not only mastering the project, but also the industry and what we do and how we do it, and the issues that we have. I think you did a wonderful creative job in presenting that. So my hat's off to you for that. Way to go.
Thank you.
The first question the question that I have for you is, how are you going to get on the roof?
As of right now, we're looking at setting up for the higher roofs, a staircase tower as of right now, but we have to be in contact with the local GC on the job site to see if that's okay. Ultimately, this will come down to just discussing, sitting down with GC and seeing what works best with them.
All right, thank you very much. Helaine?
Hi, On Deck Roofing. Great job. Great job. Well done. And you're almost done. I have a question, and it concerns after the job is done. And so it really is, what services will On Deck Roofing offer the training facility after the roof has been installed, with the hope of keeping them as a long-term customer?
Yeah, of course. As Kendall down here talked, which maybe we can talk a little more on it, is our performance maintenance analysis ultimately. Kendall, anything you'd like to say about that, or what that includes for us?
I mean, like we mentioned during the presentation, our PMA, we're expecting to be able to send a small crew out semi-annually. It will cost us around $4,000. But what we're trying to do there is make sure that even after we have finished the project, that there are no damage on the roof that could cause further problems. That's why we picked actually during the spring and the fall, is because that is before and after winter, which we think are the most detrimental times to do repairs.
Great answer. And spring and fall is always the best time to do your semi-annual inspection. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Scott Kowalik. Scott?
Thank you, Helaine. I had a question about the roof system itself. So, we relied on our owner's rep and our design firm to come up with this particular roof system for this project. And, we don't 100% understand the pros and the cons of this roof system and how it might be different from other roof systems, particularly the way that it's attached. We understand that it's attached with a plate of some type that's heated. It's not adhered, and it's a little bit different from other mechanically attached roofs. So I'm just wondering if you could speak to us a little bit about the roof system that's been chosen, what you think is good about it, what you think some things are that maybe we should look for as the roof system ages.
Yeah.
That would help us. That would kind of help us understanding what we're going to build here.
Okay, so I just want to reiterate your question. It was a little difficult hearing, but you said just talk about the roof system we have here and how we plan on basically structuring it and checking on the quality and make sure that it's different from your typical mechanical fastened roof assembly, right?
Yeah, I'm just curious if you could speak to some of the pros and cons associated with this particular roof and how it might be different from other roof systems.
Okay. Yeah, so I think some pros of this roof system overall, like I said, I think because of the heat and ducted welding, this is below the membrane, which ultimately causes no penetrations through this membrane. So I think just below it, overall, this is just a con altogether. And some pros, pro to it, not a con, sorry about that. So maybe cons to it is it might take a little bit longer. You have to go over it to do that heat and ducted welding. So it might add a little bit of time to it. But overall, I think that is one pro and one con I can think of this roof side.
I think of also for us, as we talked about earlier, we've worked with the system in the past. As you stated, it might take longer, but since we have experience working with this sort of system, that we can do this in a timely manner.
Okay, thank you. John Mcgarry, do you want to ask on deck a couple questions?
Yes, thank you, Scott, very much, and very nice job to you all. I know it's a lot of work, but you all handled it very well. It was excellent, excellent presentation. So one of the things that we're unknown for here, possibly in Las Vegas, is wind. And on windy days, it can halt production for safety reasons, obviously. So every day you can't work, it impacts the schedule. Every day you can't work due to high winds particularly, impacts the schedule. So how are you able to adjust for non-working days due to high winds and still be able to meet the production schedule?
Ultimately, like you said, on windy days, we won't be up on the roof. I think that's too dangerous. But however, we have our crew sizes as of right now that we're looking to dedicate towards certain roofs. So if we get behind a certain day, I believe that maybe we can put a little bit more crew on a roof to kind of catch up on that schedule. So ultimately, overall, I think the crew sizes and just overloading a certain crew size on a certain day or a week overall to catch up is our best look at how we would overcome a day that being estimated.
Very good answer.
We all collaborated on the schedule as well as the estimate, but I think we also worked in, the possibility of these days happening to our schedule. So that's part of it.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. So you haven't stacked up like cordwood in case there's an impact due to wind. That's very good. Well, that answers my question. I'm going to turn it over to Chris Ogg. Chris, do you have questions or a question you'd like to ask?
Yeah, I got a question for you, team. Congratulations on making it this far. You guys did an excellent job on your presentation. You should be very proud of it. My question to you, again, is in relation to quality control. So one of the most important parts of a successful roof installation, especially on a single ply roof installation with rhino bond attachment, induction weld attachment, again, is the quality of the installation itself. So what steps have you taken to ensure that your welding equipment is working properly, as well as being calibrated and the testing of your seams and the welding of the induction plates to the membrane?
Well, this is our proposal and presentation. We haven't gone into that specific equipment already, but before each job site, after awarded, that's something of course we will do.
To add on to that, I think before each day, when we check the equipment, as part of the main before work analysis that we will be doing is checking that equipment and make sure that it is up to date and working for that day. If it's not, then we'll be in contact with our office on deck roofing to hopefully get another machine out.
And as well, me and Jacob will be on site doing quality checks every hour on the job site.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, thank you. Well, Bob, I'll let you take the next questions.
All right, thanks, Chris. I'm going to echo the same thing as the past judges. Congratulations. I enjoyed your written as well as your oral presentation here today. It's great to be in the Final Four, isn't it? Yeah, great. And I wish we could do it in person, but unfortunately, we are doing business a little different right now. So my question is a safety question, so I'll get it all preloaded for you. First off, congratulations on an impressive experience modification EMR rating. You're just below 33% under the industry average. It tells me you have a strong safety program and your employees follow what you're promoting on the job site. What you didn't really tell us is leadership. We know from ownership and top management, they need to lead by example. And can you give us a little bit of an understanding how at your company leadership leads by example, or the ownership top management leads by example, so they don't compromise safety for profitability?
Yeah, to start out, let's say overall, kind of take having a certain respect for the field workers. It is never too much if you go out on a job site, even as a project manager. If I see something wrong, if I see debris, if I see a problem, I'll either pick it up, do it myself, do the work, or either say something, or maybe I'll, similar to Jacob, say, hey, Jacob, we have a certain problem here, and it's leading by example ultimately. I know Jacob maybe has a little more to say on this stuff.
Just sort of from a safety manager point of view, it's just, you know, as I said earlier, I'm trying out there to be a resource and not a roadblock for our employees. I'm not out there, you know, to write everyone up. I'm there to make sure that everyone has the proper equipment, proper technology, you know, to be safe on that job site. And if someone's doing something unsafely, say like for a write-up sort of case, I like to make sure and get to the root of that problem. Make sure that, you know, as I said, we're giving them all that necessary equipment before, you know, taking someone's paycheck.
So top management and ownership, do you require them to have the same safety training as the field personnel?
Oh, of course, like all of us are 100-hour OSHA certified. All of our employees need to be OSHA 10 certified. They can do the OSHA 30 as well. I also teach that course, as well as our fall protection certification.
Thank you for your answers. And again, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we're at that point now. We're on deck roofing. You can now take a deep breath. The presentation is over. The questions are over. You did a fabulous job, a lot of work. It's all been appreciated. Good luck on the final tally from the judges. And we really do appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Take
Well
care.
done.